yet another that just happened August 17th was that huge turbine or transformer rather on a dam. I know I'm going to mispronounce it. The
is this in Russia?
Sanyo Sashkanishko, or I'm sure, you know.
Yeah, we get the drift. We know it's in Russia, so.
Yes. Anyway, this dam, which is up there above Mongolia and India, is it was supplying some huge amount of electricity to Russia. I think 1/4 of the such and such. I mean, it's a big producer, right? Been around forever, 20 to 40 years. It's been in full, at least for 20 years, been in full production. This is not new equipment, very reliable, right? And all of a sudden, the transformer explodes. So they probably they're blaming, well, maybe the water rushed too fast, but all of this is under control. They control the water flow, they control this stuff. They have redundant controls. And the Zetas pointed out, they said it's not what you're going to think. It's not something mechanical, not an earthquake or something like that. If you take a look and you hold the globe so that the Atlantic Rift is centered, you're kind of looking at the Wales or Scotland or whatever, and you're looking at it off to the side, to the right-hand side, there's that spot where this big power station was. So they said it was a tsunami of electromagnetic stuff due to clashing magnetic fields. The Earth and Planet X are getting close enough that, the magnetic fields touched and clashed, creating electromagnetic particles that went in all different directions than normal, which is to flow from the North Pole round to the sun. And this created a crowding, or what they call a tsunami effect, a crowding that rolled off to the sides. And this is exactly at the side where the tsunami brushed off into space, so to speak. And that's what caused the transformer to overheat, because transformers are dealing with a step-up of voltage. They have electromagnetic influences like floating in the air there, in order for the step-up process to happen. And it was very subject to, vulnerable, to such a tsunami, and boom, there went the transformer.
I want to go back just a few years here now. You've lectured and appeared on a variety of radio programs for a number of years, and to educate listeners on what you and many others believe is a planetary or celestial body that will cross over the ecliptic plane, in which all planets of this solar system orbit around the sun. Now, that passage will bring this planet close to the Earth, whereby its gravitational and magnetic influence will create havoc on this planet, and subsequently resulting in a major pole shift. Now, you predicted that by May of 2003, this rogue planet would cross between the sun and the Earth, resulting in major Earth changes. Now, when that failed to occur on that date, you were criticized publicly, and some labeled you as a fearmonger. Now, it's been more than 6 years since that time. Now, you obviously are very passionate about this event today as you were back then. Now, what Earth changes do we see today that still leads you to believe that our planet is being influenced by forces of a celestial nature?
All those that were predicted in 1995, in 2003, they said passage, meaning come in and leave. It came in exactly as predicted, actually with such amazing accuracy, because we tracked it in the night sky, did infrared observations, naked eye, looking at observatories, and also naked eye in the spring. I saw it myself March 26, 2003. CCD imaging the year before, where it tracked exactly where the Zetas said, and it wasn't an object on the star charts. It moved according to the Zetas' predictions. And then we had second sun sightings where, the sunlight would bounce off the dust cloud of Planet X back toward Earth, and then people would think they saw two suns rising or setting and the like, and then it got so close to the sun it was lost in the glare. But all the effects of this planet being close, like, as I mentioned, the Earth wobble, the moon being out of position, causing crop shortages, the weather causing crop shortages, high tides. We've had high tides 2 feet higher than usual all up and down the East Coast, which had no explanation according to scientists. A big 12-mile long chunk of algae, a blob floating up into the Arctic Circle, unheard of. That was pushed there by erratic, pushing of the ocean water. Increased volcanism, where we have so many inactive volcanoes going off, and it was that way even 10 years ago, that the pace was such beyond the memory of man. There it was. Increased earthquakes. Now this is denied by the USGS, who either removes the earthquakes or dumbs down the Richter. And people noticed 10 years ago that if the scope or destruction of an earthquake, the force of it, should have been a 7, that they were declaring it a 5, that type of thing. And even the one that happened in December 26, 2004, which was termed a 9.5, the USGS was trying to claim it was an 8.1 or something like that. They desperately are done. So the statistics on earthquake frequency and magnitude seemed to look normal, but they put a chart out which caught the lie. The USGS put a chart out that showed death and destruction. From 2005 on, it became almost like 8 or 9 times more deadly, these earthquakes. Well, did earthquakes decide to hit in cities and cause more deaths or damage of structures just since 2005? I mean, extreme, even 40 times more than. So that's another example. It's not global warming. So something is causing this, in addition to all the electromagnetic disturbances and static and satellite problems we're having and the like. Visibility, guess what? It's showing up on SOHO. This is a U.S. satellite, the SOHO, which takes images of the sun. It's out there well beyond our atmosphere. I think there's 2 of them, one on either side, sort of the Earth, and they take pictures of the sun, but they also block out the sun and take pictures of what surrounds the sun. Well, the Zetas said years ago that they had a computer program that was trying to airbrush where Planet X would be, so that and insert what would be predictable little star or passing planet or something like that. And that was, a part of the cover-up. But because everything is so erratic, with the Earth moving up and down and around and Planet X getting closer, and also people being distracted and in the bureaucracies, and maybe being a little angry at the cover-up and not liking what they know is going on, it has shown up since last December on Lascaux and Soho regularly, and there it is with a tail drifting away from it, and something on either side that looked like wings. Now, interestingly enough, the ancient Sumerians depicted this passing planet, the planet of the crossing, as it was called, as a planet with big wings on either side. And the first time this came out, earlier this year, I almost fell off my chair. It looked exactly like the ancient Sumerian drawings with big wings on either side.
Is this being debunked as just another comet?
Well, it couldn't be. There was no comet that was coming through, and besides which, it's been more or less the same place now for months. So, they will. Debunking will almost say anything, and what they hope for is that lots of people will pick it up and say, "Oh, just another comet," especially if they're frightened and they want to deny, or maybe they're just not paying attention, and. So debunking will always have some explanation.
Has NASA given up on concealment now, or are they just?
No, I think they're still at it. Of course, they will. According to the Zetas, they will till the end, and they will try to, because the big fear that the establishment has is panic in the people. Even though, don't you think people deserve the right to know that the coastlines won't be safe, that there will be, flooding around the world, and the sea levels will rise, so don't buy that home on the beach, that you need to learn how to grow a garden, get used to chickens and goats, and consider growing earthworms and eating them. Gosh, they're 82% protein, and easy to grow. I mean, the herd never stampedes. People need to know these things, and to be aware they might choose to stay at their job until the last weeks before they run for the hills and go up to Aunt Joe, Aunt Joe's farm, or something like that. But it's the wealthy and the powerful who know this is coming. They have their safety. They have their bunkers and their supplies and their meals ready to eat and their guns, and they're hiring armed guards, but they're not going to tell you.